There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Frankie-san.
And I'm Mark.
Welcome to the show. We got a couple of little tidbits and some announcements. We're going to get that out of the way before we get into our major reviews. Yes, we're going full Western today, folks. But people are saying, what's with the Godzilla shirt? Well, we all know Magnificent Seven came from the Seven Samurai. 1950s black and white flick. Again, we mentioned black and white. All-time classic. As a matter of fact, Lawrence Kasdan, the writer for... He wrote Empire Strikes Back. He came back and wrote The Force Awakens, okay? And he considers The Seven Samurai the greatest picture of all time. And, of course, that's where Magnificent Seven came. And basically, it's seven guys going up against the bad, against the bad villain. What do you call it? A villain can't be good. Of course, it's going to be bad. But that goes all the way up to Suicide Squad. A bunch of, reckless guys get together and they go team up against the bad guy. But anyway, so we're going to have that. Real quick announcement, okay. This weekend, I managed, just before we, just before the weekend head out, I did a radio show. So there's a lot of tidbits I didn't mention. We went out of time last time, basically. So I reviewed Sully. I give it a 4 out of 5. A lot of bits about Star Trek. They bumped it up to next May. As a matter of fact, people said, hey, what happened? You had something on the table. You didn't manage to show it off. Okay, so this is something left over from last week. This is an actual shirt, the 25th anniversary shirt. Once upon a time, it could fit into this. And, yeah, 25 years ago, okay? And let me just show that real quick, left over. And as a matter of fact, it says right in the corner, Mark is looking at it, and that says 25th. A little logo, that's an official stamp logo. Okay, and because, again, what's happening is we're running out of time, a lot of things, and we're putting that on a Black Talk radio show. And what's going to happen, we're going to take a break in the wintertime, like we've been doing for the past couple of years. So get used to it, everybody. Find the radio show. It's the widget and a blog page, okay? And because we got a couple more shows, 2 more shows in October, 2 more shows in November, and 1 more show in December. And then we're going to have radio shows all through the winter. So try to get a habit, whatever we don't finish up over here. But since this is a visual show, I just wanted to show you one more thing we didn't get to mention. This is Star Trek The Next Generation, the Writer's Director's Guide. I got somebody picked this up for me from one of the conventions. And basically what this is a booklet that the writers need to follow the guideline. Like Picard cannot be a clown. He's a captain, and it describes what the things he can do and cannot do. Okay? And then has other plans in case it said, like for the writers, it said, well, how about we blow up the Enterprise? Nope. How about we blow up the bridge? Nope. Here's the coordinations of everything on the bridge that they can use as well as weapons and what cannot do. Anyway, there's a guideline for writers and stuff like that. And a lot of the shows have this to make sure that the characters don't go out of phase and stuff like that. So I just wanted to show you that from last time. So let me put on my glasses. We got a couple more tidbits because he wants to get into the review of the new Magnificent Seven. But first, I did a soundbite of SoundCloud. Get used to that. I did promise the music, and I'm a little bit behind. Everything's going to start premiering in October. For now, there's a little soundbite. It's going to be for my future EP coming out hopefully by the end of October. Hopefully it doesn't get pushed back because I'm doing all these movies back to back. I'm right in the middle of doing a Woody Allen project. If you notice, I got a little bit sunburned, but that's more story on that on the Blog Talk radio show. But anyway, I did the little soundbite. It's over by SoundCloud. Again, you can get the SoundCloud again from our blog page. And after that, I was rushing over 6:15 in the morning report to Blue Bloods. And I bumped into this gentleman. I want to give a special shout out to Tony and his wife. When I was running over to Delancey Street, Grand Street Settlement, I believe that's the name of the building, where we had to report in. And we were filming some scenes with Donnie Wahlberg along the Delancey Street in Rivington, Stanton, around that area. Anyway, I bumped into the gentleman, Tony, and he was asking me, he's a fan, and said, hey, I see your show all the time. Thank you, Tony. And he was asking what happened to Santos. Santos retired because of illness. And then we were talking, me and Tony were talking about his wife's illness. So I just want to say so him and his family, I wish him the best, and thank you for watching the show. A little shout out there. And all of my fellow actors who all got fellow sunburn, on the beach. And in October, what we're going to be doing is we're going to have Creature Fest. Of course, Japanese Godzilla, me and Mark, we're going to go in 2 weeks. Godzilla's going to premiere in the second week on October of throughout the U.S. What was it? I think Angelica or AMC 25 is going to have the picture, I believe?
AMC.
Okay, AMC. So we're going to have that. So in 2 weeks, we're going to come back. It's going to be creature features. So this is a little preview of Godzilla. We're going to be talking more about that. Also on the radio show, I did promise the specials. It's all going to be Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest, Music Fest. That's Rocktober, they used to call it when I used to grow up. WPOJ and all those rock stations, they used to call it Rocktober. So I'm going to premiere the music. We're going to be talking sci-fi and Howard Pictures and Godzilla all in October. So there's going to be a lot of good shows there coming in October. So consider this a fall preview. We saw Sully. Real quick, let me do my reviews. Blair Witch Project, 0. We finally picked the worst picture of the year. Total crap. I got nothing good to say about it. I'm not going to waste anybody's time talking about the movie. I got nothing good to say about it. I saw the Beatles 8 days a week. Ron Howard, yes, Ronnie come through, and great picture. It's more like a documentary, should I say? Anyway, and it covers a lot of footage. And some critics didn't like the way it ended. I thought it ended perfectly. When they say they retire from the road years, and all of a sudden, why? Because all of a sudden, a big close-up of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album cover shows up. I said, that's the way it ended, a documentary. Okay, that's probably be a documentary about the studio years, but it's all and a lot of great footage of them live in concert. Okay, and yes, Sigourney Weaver from Aliens. Yes, I haven't done a Blu-ray review yet because I haven't picked it up, and neither Captain America Blu-ray. Hopefully, we'll catch up on that for the next show. Okay, so Blair Witch Project 0, the Beatles are 8 days a week, and now we're going to be talking about the main event, Weston's Magnificent Seven. I'm leaving out a couple of things here. Don't forget, if you missed the show, we got the show recorded and it uploaded on YouTube. Subscribe. It will be on Monday. Already SoundCloud. I got a little sound bit. Don't forget, I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. A lot of people added me in Pinterest. That's really cool. The main site, videolandexpress.com, all that information is right on the home page. Right, everything's right on top. You don't have to scroll. You don't have to go anywhere. It's just everything on the home page right in front, and that tells everything. And then, of course, the blog. Okay, before we get into it, real quick, we're still waiting for the box office, okay? So, which is going to lead into Magnificent Seven. Magnificent Seven is going to clear $35 million. It's turning out to be the biggest opening for Western ever. Ooh, not bad, huh? Yeah. Animation Storks, $15 million. They never gave it any advertisement. They just did a couple clips and boom, it's already in the theaters. They really didn't back it up. Sully's going to clear $100 million after this weekend. Bridget Jones' Baby, the picture nobody asked for, is doing huge in England. They made $10 million in one weekend, which is pretty good for England. Go figure. And Blair Witch, the movie only cost $5 million, and it's already going into profit. So go figure. So that's the box office there. And what's the other thing I wanted to add? Let's see. Okay, we've got a lot of tidbits. I got some tidbits about the Beatles, but I'm going to save that for the blog. Okay? Now it is Mark's turn. We're going to be talking about Weston. And, well, how was the new Magnificent Seven?
I thought it was great.
Does it beat the classic?
The classic is different. It's a different tone altogether.
Okay.
You see, the classic had, I thought it had an edge to it. The new one has an edge to it, too. It's sort of like a Denzel Washington edge. You can feel it. It's like gritty, realistic. So it has a real gritty, realistic edge to it. Like, you know, because you see how certain movies made during certain decades have that tone of that decade. Like The Magnificent Seven felt like a movie from the 60s.
Right.
Was it 60s, right?
60, right.
It had that 60 edge to it, you know, the film grain, the actors, the way they behaved, their canons.
Also, because there was no rated R back then, so they had to follow the code. If somebody got shot, he would just turn around and fall on the floor. Yeah. You know, he couldn't show any blood or anything like that. You know,
like, back then they didn't know what death was, so the death scenes were very funny. They would get shot, and their eyes would be open. All of a sudden, they would close them. Yeah. And in real life, that wouldn't happen. You get shot, your eyes are open.
Yeah, yeah.
My brother and I used to have this discussion all the time. When you die, do your eyes close? No, they don't. Mm-hmm. And like they used to do back in the 60s, 60 westerns, you get shot. Ah! my God, I am dying.
Yeah,
my God.
over the top, over dramatic, right? Yeah.
And then your eyes would slowly close.
Uh-huh.
I have to say one thing before I die.
But how was the movie itself?
Oh, it was. I felt it was wonderful. I
Would you see
enjoyed
it? You see it
I
again?
enjoyed it. Yes, I would.
Oh, okay. A
bring it
repeater.
out,
All
You bring
right.
it out. You know, so like Suicide Squad, I would definitely see it again. But now I see in certain theaters they started doing this thing where you have to reserve your seat.
Why?
Well,
That's not necessary.
It's probably for people who won't sneak into different theaters where we won't repeat without paying.
Oh, okay. People will find a way around that.
Yeah,
I do.
the guy next to me was telling me, don't even listen to that. He was like, if you come early in the morning, you don't have to worry about it. I'm like, you imagine a guy who gets paid minimum wage has to fight with some guy he doesn't know to tell him to get out of that seat because this person reserved it.
And take a chance of getting shot? Nah.
In Manhattan?
Yeah, not in Manhattan, nah.
Jeez.
At the time, they look the other way anyway. They don't care.
They don't care. They don't want to be bothered. But like I said, it was a great, nice, clean. It was very believable. I enjoyed the film. This is my take on it because I'm sort of like a Sly Stallone person. I like action movies. I enjoy Clint Eastwood. You know, I'm a Clint Eastwood fan. I'm a Yul Brynner fan. I'm a Denzel fan. And now, thanks to Suicide Squad, I'm a Will Smith fan. You see, I'm into action films. I'm into, entertainment at action films like that. I'm into that. So this was very great.
A lot of action, though.
Yeah, and they had a great cast. Ethan Hawke was in it. I usually am not an Ethan Hawke fan, but Ethan Hawke was wonderful in this film. He was very great. I guess him and Denzel are buddies, so he brought him onto this project.
Right, from Training Day, right.
Because I haven't heard of Ethan Hawke. I heard one of Ethan Hawke's best films was Gattaca.
Right.
And it was it wasn't, I'm sorry about that, that was part of my phone. And it wasn't as highly regarded. You know, it became a cult hit.
Ethan Hawke's been doing a lot of, how you call it, independent movies. Before Sunrise, what was it, the whole trilogy? Before Sunrise, Beyond Sunrise, Beyond Sundown, Beyond Midnight, or something like that.
And it was it was trilogy.
Yeah,
so
they were awful. Oh, God.
Well, hey. I know, people keep
yeah, they're going to keep interrupting
I'm
and
about to kill this phone. All right, so, and then my second person who would have to say I was surprised with their performance was Vincent D'Onofrio. I had to write this down because, Vincent D'Onofrio, he was the Kingpin on Daredevil. He was in Law and Order.
He was one of the biggest pictures of all time last year, the Jurassic World, where he gets eaten by the Velociraptor there.
Oh, no, spoiler.
Yeah.
If you didn't see the film, spoiler alert. And like I say, Denzel, I'm a Denzel guy.
Right.
He convinces me this. He was great. He was serious. It was blood curdling. He was awesome. The rest of the cast, they knew how to hit their marks. They were realistic. They all played stone cold killers, and they were awesome in their roles. One after the other.
Now, my question: are you a Western fan?
Yes, I am a Western fan.
Oh, okay.
You see, I'm into, because Westerns were like the soap opera of their time.
Yeah.
And they were written with the best writers that Hollywood had, the best directors. Who was one of the most famous was Ford. He was one of the most famous directors out there. And his buddy right here, if you know who this is, the Duke, John Wayne.
He was the #1 star in the world box office for 20 years. Everybody talks about JJ, what he did with Star Trek and Star Wars, and he said, my idol was Steven Spielberg. And everybody says, a lot of directors said, don't look at me, look at the people that I grew up with. As a matter of fact, Steven Spielberg's proteges was David Lean. To the point, David Lean asked Spielberg to do Empire of the Sun because he was getting ill. He said, Steve, can you take over for me? Stanley Kubrick was ill to do AI. Steven, can you take over for me? And he studied with John Ford. Okay, and John Ford actually took him in the office when he was only like maybe 20 years old. Steven Spielberg was young and lucky enough to be on Universal Studios. Okay,
Wow, yeah.
and at 20 years old, so he was learning. Okay, it was like an intern, whatever. Spielberg talked a lot about it, so you can get that on a lot of the documentaries and behind making of and all that stuff. But Spielberg always said one scene. John Ford took him in the room. See the painting? What's so special about the painting? And Spielberg said, I don't know. It's the horizon line. Always look for that. The horizon line has to be 2/3, and so either 2/3 land or 2/3 sky. You have to learn the difference where that line is going to be, and that's going to be your framing shot. Okay, a little film school 101. And so Spielberg said, don't learn from what I do. Learn from what my proteges and the people who influenced me. So a lot of people said, oh, Spielberg. Never mind Spielberg. Who did he learn from? David Lean and John Ford. I'm going to be making a video, and so I'm studying John Ford techniques. Never mind Spielberg. Never mind JJ. That's who you got to learn from.
The people who come before you.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood. It said, is Clint Eastwood a big influencer, director? Yes and no. He learned from Sergio Leone for the spaghetti westerns, and Don Siegel, who did a lot of movies in the 60s, a lot of black and white classics of stuff like that. So that's, it's people like that. And that's why Lion Capstan said himself, he learned how to write from Akira Toshiba, if I get his name, my apologies, the creator from The Seven Samurai. So,
Akira Kurosawa.
Thank you. See, great backup. Anyway,
Sometimes you need somebody to cover, man.
There you go. And as a matter of fact, let me give you a little trivia tidbit. The thing I'm curious about, how was the music?
For the Magnificent Seven?
Yeah, the new soundtrack.
Oh my God, I didn't even pay attention to that.
Okay, the reason I'm asking that, not to put you on the spot.
Yes.
What you call it? James Horner knew that Anton Fugg was going to do the Magnificent Seven. And again, he said Elmer Bernstein, who wrote the original theme, Magnificent Seven. If you hear this theme, you know the Magnificent Seven. It's one of the old-time themes. It's up there with dun 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 dun. You know the theme, Jaws. You hear the Magnificent Seven. And James Horner says Elmer Bernstein was one of his influences. He heard that. He said, oh, I got to do the soundtrack for the new Magnificent Seven. He did it before he died. About 80% was completed. Another musical director came in. He finished composing some other tidbits. And that's James Horner's last musical triumph for the new Magnificent Seven. Again, he said, like a lot of people, when he was going to schools and doing lectures, he said, don't mind me. Who do I learn from? Who's my inspiration? He put Elmer Bernstein for Magnificent Seven. That's what I was asking. The reason I'm saying that real quick is here's another theme of Magnificent Seven, produced by Roger Corman. Roger Corman wanted to do his own Star Wars. He did Battle Beyond the Stars. This was James Horner's first musical composition, should I say. And if you listen to it, you hear the Ratha Khan. It's all over the place. Of course, James Horner went to do Aliens. And that, of course, Aliens has the marching beat. That steel pipe banging. You hear all that in this James Horner soundtrack, Battle Beyond the Stars, and the same concept. Richard Thomas, his planet is getting attacked by the evil empire in outer space, and he goes to all the different planets and different species and gets all these aliens together to beat the big bad guy in outer space. Again, the formula of the Seven Samurai, Suicide Squad, the Dirty Dozen, we mentioned that a couple times.
Right.
Seven Samurai, and believe it or not, the trivia on this one, what was it? The original cowboy in Magnificent Seven. Let me see if I can point them out here.
Yul Brynner?
No.
Lee Marvin?
Well, as this. We know Yul Brynner. Okay, Ed Harris, Westworld. Westworld was a movie done in 1973 and asked Yul Brynner to revise his role. Right, the gunfighter and wearing black, okay?
Yes.
Okay, Ed Harris is doing his role. Well, Robert Vaughn, I believe this is the guy, he wears the vest and he has the black gloves.
Yes.
He actually repeated his role for this. So he's actually playing one of the Magnificent Seven in this for you Western fans. So sci-fi and Westerns are like this, believe it or not.
Yeah,
a lot of
Star
people,
Trek.
Star Trek. Gene Roddenberry. I got to think about outer space. I don't get it. It's Wagon Train on Wheels. Wagon Train.
Space Cowboys.
Right. Wagon Train was a big, huge hit in the 60s on CBS. And the wife got it. I said, hey, I like that idea. Oh, a little trivia about Star Trek, I forgot to mention. Produced by a Cubano. Desi Arnaz Productions, Desi Lu Productions.
Yes.
And who pushed it? It was his wife. So a female,
Lucille Ball.
A female comedian and a Latina husband, Cubano, produced Star Trek. How's that? So anybody mentions that, stick it to them. Okay, a Latino and a wife comedian produced Star Trek. A little trivia. But anyway, Robert Vaughn, the cowboy from Magnificent Seven, is in this. So how's that for Western sci-fi together?
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's some great trivia. Now, I put these up real quick. These are some of my favorite Westerns. We got 9 minutes, okay.
Oh, you also have the Wild Bunch.
That is my ultimate Western. 4 guys take on the Mexican army. One of the great endings, Sam Peckinpah. That movie and the other movie that we showed in the last show, Bonnie and Clyde, are the films responsible for, and again, inspired people like John Woo. Remember John Woo did the Volta, Nicolas Cage, Face Off, and Beyond Tomorrow, The Killers, Chow Yun-fat, okay? And John Woo said he inspired a lot of people. Chinese director, and he said, "Don't mind me. You know where I got it from? I got it from Sam Peckinpah. All that slow motion guy falling off the roof, falling off the roof, boom, landing on the floor."
Yeah, and Sergio Leone's tension was amazing. I think the tension it would bring up in The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I would tell some people, "Oh, you should watch that," and they would say, "Nah, it's too old." And I'm like, "You're crazy."
What do you think everybody's ripping?
Yeah,
ripping
this is
all
why
these,
you see some of these movies, these newer films, and that's where they took it from. It's amazing the amount of tension, the beautiful tension that Sergio Leone they build up on, like The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. He created a Mexican standoff.
Thank you. I was just going to say that Mexican standoff. That is the ultimate Mexican standoff. Michael Bay used that for one of the Transformers #2 or #3. When the robots got caught in the middle and they were surrounded by the other robots, he based that off The Bad and the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Right, exactly. So there's Michael Bay and robots basing their stuff on westerns. On the commentary of Magnificent Seven, he said 50% of movies made nowadays are all based on Western mythology. You might not see it, but it's in there. You can take any Western. If you know how to rewrite a screenplay, you can take any Western and make it into a sci-fi movie.
Right.
A little film school 101 there, and most people don't believe it. I remember working with this one guy many years ago. He loved Star Wars. He hated Westerns. I said, "What do you think Star Wars is?" Alan Ladd Jr., the producer, the executive of 20th Century Fox. Lucas went to all the studios to sell Star Wars and said, "We don't get it." Lucas said, "Oh, I get it, Cowboys and Indians," and he gave him the $10 million to make Star Wars. So, Wild Bunch, responsible for slow motion technique that got applied to a lot of Asian kung fu karate movies, shoot 'em ups. The Searchers, this is Steven Spielberg's ultimate movie. If you want to see every Spielberg technique that he's done, this is his Bible. You'll find that. That and Citizen Kane. Remember I said another black and white classic we talked about? Okay. This is considered to be the ultimate Western for Clint Eastwood. I know, Unforgiven, he won for Best Picture, Best Producer, but you took a lot of Westerns. This is the one that gets the reigning champ.
I would have thought it would have been The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. That was amazing.
Well,
that and a few dollars more.
Well, as far as him directing and producing his own Westerns.
Right.
But when it comes to spaghetti Westerns, it is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You're right.
This is what I would say. Sergio Leone was a master.
Yeah.
Tension, like you can cut with a knife.
Yeah.
That's why that movie lent itself for music. You would not only see the tension, but you hear the music while the tension was playing.
Okay, and
that's why I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
Magnificent Seven, the music just flew by me when I was seeing the way they build up tension. It's like their tension was just too fast, or you just were engulfed in it too much to actually hear the music.
I know a lot of people say, "Oh, westerns are boring," because a lot of it has to do with build up. First of all, you get to know characters. Okay, it's all based on people, and that's how a lot of people do not like Star Trek. They like Star Wars, because Star Wars is okay. A lot of gizmos, a lot of action, a lot of fun, but basically it's a silly story. It's a fantasy. Okay, Star Trek could be boring, yes, and I agree with that. A lot of bad movies in between, I agree with that also. But a lot of it is based on characters. Okay, and you need conflict, and a lot of people didn't like Next Generation because there was no conflict. They needed to go to an outpost or somewhere for conflict. Where in the first Star Trek, it was all about conflict within the characters themselves. Another one, quick mention, we're running out of time, is Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. They're trying to make they said, okay, these guys are running away from the law. You can't make a picture about two guys running away from the law. They're supposed to be like heroes and stuff like that. And they pulled it off. This got Oscar nominated. William Goldman, Academy Award screenwriter. That's one of my idols, especially when I'm writing some treatments and stuff. And this is a gentleman who did The Princess Bride. He wrote, and he also did All the President's Men, which was one of the bases for Captain America. That and 3 Days on the Condor, both pictures starring Robert Redford, of course, Paul Newman. They both play the two main characters. William Goldman on the soundtrack says, Hollywood, nobody knows anything. This was done about, I don't know, a couple of years ago for the Blu-ray edition, and he still says it. Nobody knows anything. That's why all these movies are coming out and flopping at the box office big time. The thing is with Westerns is, okay, it's going to TV now. Westworld was going to happen. They kept on postponing that. Ed Harris is going to do the new Black Gunslinger that Yul Brynner used to do. So we're looking forward to that. But I'm glad that Magnificent Seven is going to come. I had two deadlines. I had to do the show. I had to do the music track, so I didn't get a chance until they.
I'm surprised Denzel Washington wasn't going to be in that new Westworld. Reprising his role. That would have been something.
Who knows? Maybe they're guaranteed the show is going to be produced for 5 years.
Westworld?
They guaranteed only because they're going to make. That's why they canceled Vinyl. I guess you want to know how come Vinyl say, oh, they're going to renew it, well then they get canceled. Couldn't that happen to Westworld? No, they needed the money from Vinyl because it wasn't getting the ratings. They said, you know what, let's cancel that and save Westworld. That's how they got the money by canceling Westworld.
We got a few minutes. We had to wrap up.
Okay, everybody, Black Talk Radio is full on now. It's going to be a new show this coming week. A bunch of things on my list I didn't get to mention. I'm going to mention in that show. And other little tidbits. I'd like to thank Mark for bailing me out again, as always. And like I said, look at westerns, man. You're a writer, producer, director, and an actor. That's film school 101. Westerns. You can't go wrong. Any last tidbit for you?
Nope, that's it.
That's it. Okay, and we're going to be on in 2 weeks, and it's going to be
subscribe.
Yeah.
This has been Mark. This is Frank. We're out.
That's it. All right. Oh, we got a lot in.
Oh, cool.
We got a lot in there. Okay, I don't have to rush on the radio show. On the radio show, I'm putting things in there. I'll try to squeeze a bunch of things in a half-hour show. Okay, not too bad.
So don't forget, this is for the YouTube fans. If we get to hear it, please subscribe, watch, and we need your subscription, folks. We'll put down the screen. Yeah. Ooh, this came with a book.
Yeah, I forget to show that. Yeah, this is a special edition. Warner Brothers was doing that for a while. Let's see. And it comes over with some, a little booklet with pictures and little stories behind the scenes and stuff like that, little trivia and stuff like that. They don't make these anymore, but they were doing this for a lot of the movie classics in there. This is one thing that Warner Brothers really got right. There was an article in Variety magazine, and one of the producers said, there's room for improvement for our superhero movies. And I just wrote, no shit.
Well, they said on Suicide Squad, it was like no other superhero film. It was done sort of completely different, which makes a lot of sense. Suicide Squad was done completely different than other superhero films because they weren't superheroes. They were supposed to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
And these are, if anything, it's more or less like an apocalypse Western.
Right. Well, it was like, again...
The Dirty Dozen.
I'm just going to say that, yeah. These were all prisoners or POWs and stuff like that, and they decided, let's make men out of these guys. These are military guys. They're all screwballs.
Yeah, I think Quentin Tarantino also made a Dirty Dozen film, Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
And people forget.
People forget, yeah.
And it was a great film because it had a great villain. And maybe people should hire him to do some of these, if you're going to do a bad guy superhero film.
He doesn't want to do superheroes.
It's
too much special effects.
Yeah, but superhero film lends itself more to Western, which he was trying to do.
Right.
He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it.
He did his Western, and that's...
yeah, but I'm just saying for him to do superhero films. But if he doesn't want to do that, because he does Westerns, but he doesn't want to do it.
Well, it's the same like Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith wrote the script for Superman, and he said, how about directing? He said, no, there's too much involved and too much politics. What was it? What movie was that? Oh, John Singleton. They interviewed him a couple of weeks ago, and he said, I wouldn't be able to do Boys in the Hood now because of studio interference. So too much micromanagement. You're so busy. You're more on the phone pleasing the studio than trying to get the job done. And that's why Singleton is not doing that many movies because Hollywood, a bunch of freakazoids with the micromanagement. Always on the cell phone, and they always have somebody from the studio looking at the set and everything like that. David Ayer, doing Suicide Squad, he had a problem with that. Somebody was always in the studio on editing the damn film, edit this out, put this back in, and that's why, Suicide Squad had a big problem. And as a matter of fact, right now, Suicide Squad, if I forgot to mention that in the box office, Suicide Squad is going to be tying Batman and Superman at the international box office. It's only about 50 million away. Once it comes out in China, it's going to be Batman versus Superman.
Ooh.
That's going to be weird.
Really? So Batman Superman hasn't come out in China yet?
No, it came out in China.
Right.
It did its box office runs. It did pretty good on Blu-ray, but now it's Suicide Squad. The only box office is waiting for it to open up in China.
Ooh, I hope so.
And then once it opens up in China,
yes.
And then we're going to see how much money it makes. But if it does open pretty good, and then it'll be Batman versus Superman as a big superhero movie goes.
Because I heard it made so far $700 million.
It's about $750 million this coming weekend.
Wow, amazing.
So we're going to find out with that.
I can't wait till the Blu-ray comes
out. We don't know which version we're going to get. And also the thing is, Warner Brothers is still a little bit edgy about that. They don't know if they're going to do a second one. That's why they gave Harley Quinn her own movie. They put Suicide Squad on hold and gave Harley Quinn her own solo movie.
They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing because she was phenomenal because she was part of an ensemble.
Right.
It's sort of like the guy who says, I want to rap in your rap album. Oh, why do you want to do that? A lot of people know because I can't carry the whole album.
Yeah.
But I can sparkle like a firecracker and blow up in that one instant.
Right.
And disappear.
Yeah.
But to carry the explosion throughout the whole song, I can't do it. Same thing with Harley Quinn. She was the firecracker.
Right.
She was the big explosion. Can she continue that during the whole film? And I heard every time they put her and Jared Leto together, people were like not so much into it. When she was alone, she was good. So imagine a movie with her, Jared Leto, or the Joker trying to sustain itself during a whole film.
Now you're gonna need a cast ensemble. Well, apparently, how and the Joker with Jay Leto didn't work out, and
exactly,
all the scenes were cut out.
Yeah, because they weren't.
Jay Leto was pissed off. He said, "Where am I?"
They kept harking over and over on the sense that they're a couple. All right, I get it. First you do this, then you do that. On and on and on and on and on. First he cleans your mind, then he tortures you, then he throws you in a bath of chemicals. I'm like, I get it already. You gotta give it a break.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, I mean.
And that's all they had to do to work on. Oh, let's work on the love backup. Oh, that they have kids and all. Oh my God, stop it.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. They should really focus on sort of like Escape from Arkham. You have Jared Leto as a Joker, or anybody else, who cares? You have Harley Quinn, and then you have the Suicide Squad. You would have Deadshot Will Smith fighting against the Joker, like they had in Escape from Arkham. You saw that one, right?
Yeah,
That's what they should have. Because then she will sparkle like a firecracker, like she did in that cartoon, because she wasn't the whole premise. She was just one of the big Roman candles.
Right. Okay. To do a Suicide Squad sequel, they can go into the cartoon, revisit some of the stories in there.
Yeah.
Some of the subplots, and also David Ayer said they had more characters lined up for Suicide Squad, and decided it was too many characters, and a lot of characters. I forget which one, but a couple of them were written out of the script at the last minute. Okay, there was like 4 other characters to be introduced, Suicide Squad. Now, they killed one of the guys off in Suicide Squad. So
they killed 1, they killed 2. How many people did they kill in Suicide Squad? I remember at least 2.
I don't even remember the one guy.
What we call it?
I forget.
Slipknot's dead. The Native American, Slipknot.
Right, him.
He got killed. And I think then the Mexican gang member, who had the power of flame, Inferno.
He got blown up.
He died.
That's right. He sacrificed himself at the end.
Yes.
That's right. Okay, so there was 2 of them. Now, there was 4 characters that were going to be added. They said it was too many characters. They wrote them off. So they get 2. They can bring 2 other ones to replace those 2, and then they can bring the other 2 that were written in the script and then got left out.
Yeah, and just killed them off.
Yeah, and just killed them off. Yeah, I mean, that same thing. Magnificent 7.
Yes.
You know that not all of them live. That
Right.
I mean, that's a tradition. Dirty
Yes.
Dozen.
They killed off 4.
Yeah, okay, and replace 4 other actors. As a matter of fact, they're already talking about a sequel and replacing some of those actors who got killed in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Denzel always has to live.
Right. He's Wyatt Earp.
He's yep. So so they can bring him back on board and bring him other actors and along with the guys who survive. So that's an automatic sequel right there.
Nice.
Like I said, I agree with you because they're looking at Wonder Woman and say, okay, Wonder Woman looks like it's going to be good. So let's do Harley Quinn instead of Suicide Squad. I think they need forget about the Joker. Just write him off. Have Harley Quinn. And to send him back out on another mission with a new assembled cast of Suicide Squad.
I would, if anything, I would do another Suicide Squad to catch the Joker.
Okay, I don't know if Jay Leonard wants to come back though.
No, I'm saying forget him. I mean, if you want to put a new Joker, put a new Joker.
Put another one in.
Put
Yeah, he didn't work out.
He didn't work out. You get another Joker. You find another actor.
Yeah, the story is he had those teeth because Batman punched his teeth out, and I'm going, why bother with that, And he was too gothic for me, Yep.
No, I'll play the Joker.
Yeah, I mean, Professor, anybody can play the Joker now.
Sure,
you're not going to beat a performance like Heath Ledger. That's the ultimate.
I'm willing to try.
Yeah. I mean, that's the ultimate Joker performance of all time. So you're not going to be able to top that. So it doesn't really matter. But besides, it's about Harley Quinn and the squad.
Yeah.
So they got potential there. But Warner Brothers is a little bit shaky. They're nervous.
I'm telling you, don't do a standalone Harley Quinn movie. That might be.
They could say it's Harley Quinn. If they don't
suicide.
It could be Harley Quinn and her Suicide Squad team.
I'm telling you, the best concept would be to get Wallace to get the Suicide Squad after the Joker because she's really ticked off at what the Joker did. Because he broke into one of the facilities.
Right, to rescue her.
Yeah, to rescue her. Not only that, he broke into the facility where they did the explosions. And he broke into that facility to learn how to. So, if anything, that's got to be a government agency.
Yeah, that's true.
You would think that, hey, this guy's got to be taken down. If we don't take him down, everybody else thinks they're going to be able to do this. So there's your premise. Go after Joker. And Harley Quinn could be in it.
Copyrighted by Mark. Okay, Warner Brothers?
You heard it here. All right, now we shut down.
I think that's it. Well, a little behind the scenes that's going to be posted
on YouTube.
This segment is going to go on YouTube. I'm not going to cut anything out.
Subscribe, like, comment. I think that was shut down, but we're just saying that to be nice.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening to the radio show. Subscribe to YouTube, and that's about it. Now,
see you then.
We need the engineer to come in and shut down.
We do have to do one of those freeze frames. Once we do the freeze frame, then we shut it down.